This is a 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser in the Land Cruiser trim, and in this video I'm going to show you everything you need to know about it. First we'll talk about the styling up here in the front, then we'll talk about what's under the hood, then we'll hop inside, we'll talk about the creature comforts, the seats, and the tech that's inside, and then to end the video we'll look at the cargo area and I will show you the window sticker. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so let's talk about the styling up here. You have a big Toyota spelled out here, not a Toyota logo, just spelled out. Then the grille around the Toyota logo, and down here it's all open, no nonsense with the fake vents and stuff like that. And down here is your camera, so this thing does have a 360 camera view, that's part of that. And down here you have your skid plates, and then all around the front of this car there are ultrasonic parking sensors like you see here. And down here you have the Rigid Industries fog lights. These are actually pretty sick. You can switch them between white and this amber lights, which is actually really nice. Anyway, here is your headlight module. This is your turn signal. Then you got two of the low beams and then one of the high beam, and then DRL that's right on top there. And then you have a vent here that is actually functional. Now let's talk about the side profile of this thing. All around the vehicle you have these black fenders. So you have a front fender, rear fender. You also have wheel arch covers that are also black, and you have mud guards on all four wheels obviously. You have black door handles and then crossbars on the roof as well. Those are shiny black, they're not really matte black. And then you have a step to get in and out of the vehicle. Now Toyota calls this Predator step on the window sticker. I'm not sure what exactly makes this a Predator step, but I really do like it actually. It's very solid, and I do like the textures that is on this step. So if you are to step on it with muddy shoes or snowy shoes, it's gonna help you grip well. It's not gonna let you slip, so that is really nice. Now let's talk about the wheel and the tire. So this is an 18-inch wheel wrapped in a 265/70 R18 Michelin LTX trail tires. Now this wheel design, it's nothing special to be honest with you. It's just fine. It's not really bad, not really good, doesn't really stand out that much, but that's what you have here. All right, now let's quickly talk about the performance and efficiency of this engine. So this is a 2.4 cylinder inline 4 paired with a turbocharger, and actually that is also paired with an electric motor and a battery, so this is a complete hybrid system. So this thing produces 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. And fuel efficiency wise, this gets 22 miles per gallon city, 25 highway, and 23 combined. And quickly, before we move to the inside, I just wanted to show you a couple of things. So this is where your engine air filter is. It is very easy to change. Simply pop off these three clips, open it up, change the filter, pop it back on, and put the clips back on. It's easy as that, and it saves you, well, at least $50. So if you don't know how to change the engine air filter, check out my video up here. Next thing is the battery. Now, this is a hybrid, so if you don't know, hybrids don't have the battery, for most part, under the hood here. The battery for a hybrid is usually in the cargo area, and I'll show you that here now, where it's at for this one. And now that said, let's check out the interior. All right, let's go to the inside now. To open the door, you have your key in your pocket. Put your hand here. The car unlocks. All right, now here is your door panel. So this is pretty much all hard. This one is a little bit of soft leather. Now that is also soft for your elbows. And then down here you have some storage area, maybe your phone or something, and then one bottle holder right there. And here is your audio system speaker. Mirror controls are right here, just like the usual. And that's about it. So this is your 6-way power adjustable driver's seat. Now this is a leather seat because it is heated and ventilated. And here are your seat controls. So your front thigh support goes up and down, as you can see there. This whole seat moves up and down with that. And then the backrest would move forward and back with that. And here is your lumbar support. Unfortunately, this is not 4-way. And at this price point, it probably should have been. But this only goes forward and back, which will support your back, will come out and go back in. But it will not move up or down, so that's unfortunate. Let's quickly talk about the front passenger seat as well. So this is a completely manual seat. No lumbar support, no power functions whatsoever. But hey, you do get Toyota on the door seal here. Now let's get inside. Here's your step. Here's a grab handle. Use that. You will absolutely need it. Let's close the door. Solid sounding thunk there. Here's your view from the driver's seat. This mirror is actually heated, as you can see right there. I don't know if you can see that. This thing also has the blind spot monitoring system light in there as well. And here's to the right. And this car actually comes with a dash cam pre-installed here. I don't know if the dealership did it or did Toyota, but that is already here. And I'm very surprised to see that. But I'm not going to be surprised if more and more cars start doing that nowadays. foot on the brake, and then hit the power button. Here we go. Here is your 12.3-inch driver's information display, and to the left here behind the steering wheel, here is your signal stack. To the right is your wiper stack, and here are all the buttons for your safety systems and the media controls over here, which also control that screen. And then to the left of the steering wheel, you have all the controls for your normal things. This is the button that controls the power to the outlet in the cargo area. And this is for your trailer brake gain controls. And this is an electronically operating steering column adjuster. So forward, back, up, and down. And then to the right, here is your start stop button again. And then down there is your tow haul mode button. It's kind of hidden away over here. So here is your 12.3 multimedia display. And it is the same display that I talked about in my Tacoma video, my Tundra video. Same software, very, very responsive, nothing to complain about here. Obviously, the owner of this vehicle would need to set that up. I cannot do that. So it's really hard to show you one without actually going into it. Here is your volume button, far away from the passenger. I guess they don't really want the passengers to be touching the volume button for some reason. Anyway, here are your climate vents. So you can turn these to the right, and that shuts off air coming from it. And you can move left or right with this. And this is very good. I really like this. And actually the air vents on either side work similarly. So you can turn it right to turn off the air, and you can redirect the air around by moving it simply like that. So here is your 3-level heated seat and ventilated seat for the driver. You have the same for the passenger. Here's your heated steering wheel. Then here's your front defogger, rear defogger, and for one-touch turn off for your climate controls. This controls your fans, and this controls your AC. Obviously, you can turn it on or off there. If you hit that, you can control the rear climate control as well. And I really like these types of controls, and I prefer it to any other types of buttons or styles. I really prefer them because these are very tactile and very easy to press. And once you press it, you know you pressed it, and no capacitive touch crap here. So this is really nice. I love that. And then down here, you have your 360 camera button. You can see this is from the outside view. You can press this and you can see it from the inside as well. At any point, if you touch here, it pauses, and touch again for it to resume. Unfortunately, you cannot just move it around like that yourself. You kind of just pause it and resume, and that's all you can do pretty much. And then over here is your data port. So you can use Android Auto and Apple CarPlay if you plug into that, and you can have that on the screen. 2 charge ports, again USB-C as well, very nice to see. And here is your drive mode selector. This is not a button. These are the buttons. So you press drive mode, and then you can turn this to select your drive mode. This is your multi-terrain select system button. You press that, the light is on, then you're selecting what terrain you're on. And then here's your hill descent control and crawl mode button. And then back here is your parking brake, brake hold, and your stability control system, your stabilization bar deactivation switch, your rear and central differential lock. And this one, by default, it is in high 4, but you can press down and go back to go into low 4. And then behind here, this is where your wireless charger would be, but this is not a wireless charger, it's just a plastic piece. And then here's your 2 normal size cup holders, very decent, I suppose. And then here is your gear shifter, so you press that and put it in reverse. And here is your rear view camera. So you can press that, and that will change the angle. It's the same camera, but it'll just change the angle. So I think it's just this angle is probably better. And then the guidelines actually move along with your steering wheel. So if you move the steering wheel, the guidelines would show you where you would end up. That is really nice. All right, let's check out the center console. So this is your center console. No charging ports or anything on the inside. About 6 or 7 inch wide, 10 inch long, and then about 10 inches deep as well. Certainly not as big as a minivan would be, but pretty decent size. And here is your glove box. You can see your manuals and stuff is in there. You have sort of like 2 different tiers where you can store stuff. So smaller things down here, bigger things up here. And if you are into doing maintenance yourself, you can push that and pull that panel out. that is where your cabin air filter is. So if you don't know how to change that, by the way, I made a video on it. So click up there to see that. Here is your auto dimming rearview mirror. This is for your home link system, so you can link up your garage doors and you can open them from here. This is your view from your rearview mirror. And then up here you have your lights as well as the usual. So these are your sunroof controls. So if you want to just vent the sunroof, you can press that. And if you want to open and close, you can use that. These are touch sensitive. You can touch it like that and they would turn on and off. You can press the door button so that when the door opens and closes, it will automatically turn on and off. Press that to turn them both on and off. Here is your pretty standard size sunroof. You can open the sunshade manually. This opens just about right here, so most of the way back. You can just press and hold for about 1 second and it opens and closes like so. You can use this button to vent it, so press that, it'll just open up from the back, let the hot air out, and that is about it for the sunroof. Alright, so let's talk about the door panel of the second row seats here. So this is again soft here, and so is that, very nice to see, but this is going to be hard again. Your window controls, one touch up and down, and your couple of bottle holders and the speaker down here. And then you also have a child lock here, so if you press that down, won't let the child open the door from the inside. And while we're talking about the child seats, let's talk about this door. So this door doesn't open fully 90 degrees. Some SUVs offer that as a feature because that allows you to easily fit if you have a child seat or something. You can stand here and do whatever you need to do in there. All right, so now let's talk about this back seat here. I'm a 6-foot person. I've set that front seat for me where I would be comfortable. And as you can see, I still have a couple of inches of space right in front of my knees here. And there is a space to slide your feet down beneath the seat in front there. And there is a door pocket here as well as over here. And here are your temperature controls for the second row seats. And down here you have a cigarette lighter style outlet and 2 USB-C ports as well. And this is pretty cool here. So there is a Land Cruiser written out right there in the middle, just to remind you what you're sitting in. And then in the middle here, you have a transmission tunnel, which wouldn't exactly be comfortable for somebody sitting in the middle. So let's see. Somebody like me would have to sit like that in the middle. Not exactly comfortable, so probably a kid should sit here. Okay. Speaking of kids, you have 2 latch style anchors on either of the side seats, but unfortunately not in the middle one. So what you can do for the middle one is there's a tether in the back, so you can still use a traditional seat with a seat belt and a tether in the back, and you should still be just fine. Furthermore, there's 2 vents on either side there for the rear passengers, and if you're just 2 people sitting back here, you can drop this armrest, and there's 2 cup holders in here as well. And this is pretty cushy, so it should be very comfortable for 2 people. But if you're just 3 adults back here, the seat is fine. However, your foot is going to suffer very, very badly. You're going to have to keep 1 foot on either side because this doesn't work, or take your shoes off, whatever. And one last thing before we move on, these seats actually do recline, so you can use this little handle over here, pull and push back, and this is how much they recline. And as you can see, compared to that one, this is pretty upright, but this one's quite reclined, so it will be pretty comfy in a long drive if you're into that sort of thing. But yeah, that is the back seat. All right, now let's quickly talk about the rear end here. It is a really boxy look, as you can see, nothing really special going on. A black Land Cruiser emblem, and then a Toyota written out right here. I'm very curious why there's no Toyota badges on this thing. But there's also an iForce Max emblem here. Now this thing does have a tow hitch receiver, which is hidden behind this thing. And then your power is right down here as well. And while we're down here, let's just mention that this thing does have a full-size spare that is mounted under the cargo floor. And this also has 4 ultrasonic parking sensors in the back, as you can see here. And now let's move on to the cargo area. Now, one of the really good features about this thing is this little glass area actually opens up. You can simply press this button and open this up, and then you can drop whatever you need inside. All right, now let's talk about the cargo space in here and all the features you have back here. So this is a storage area. Not really a lot you can put in there. One more here and another one over here. Now, the battery, remember I told you, is back here, so it's here. But in order to replace it, you actually need to take this out and then pull it out to get the battery out. And the jack, if you have a flat and you need to change your tire, is behind this thing right here, so you can get that out. And the tools to remove the tire and mount the tire is actually behind this thing, this little storage area. There's stuff here, and here's your tools, and here's some space to store some stuff. Obviously, this thing doesn't have a third row, so this is all pretty much cargo space. Okay, now here's a little quirk. Since this thing shares this chassis with the Lexus GX, that thing has 3-row seats. This one does not. This one only comes in a 5-seater. The GX comes in 7-seater as well. So here's the thing. This thing has cup holders and a charging cable back here, as well as vents. So normally you don't get that stuff if you don't have a third row. Not only it's here, but it's also on the other side here too. You get another USB-C, another 2 cup holders, and another vent up here with 2 grab handles. Now, if nobody's sitting back here, why would you have those? So I feel like Toyota may have planned for a third row here in the Land Cruiser, but may have decided against it. Let me know what you guys think. Now, with cargo space, these 2 right here is where your cargo net system, that this thing actually comes with a cargo net, you can hook it up there. And this thing has a 2.4 kilowatt inverter, which supports this outlet right here. This is a 2400 watt outlet. To use this though, you have to press a button to the left of the driver to turn this on. Now, to mount stuff down here in the cargo area, you have these 4 hooks that you can use to tie stuff down here. This thing has 2 cute little lights down here, which you can't see from that perspective. That is a pretty nice detail. And to close the tailgate, there's 2 buttons up here. So the first one actually lets you adjust the height as well. So as you can see, my head is touching. So if I want to adjust the height, I just push the tailgate up to where it needs to go, like that. That's the highest. Now you press and hold this until you hear 2 beeps, and then that's where it will open till the next time. Now the other button is so that it actually closes the tailgates and locks the car. So it'll close the tailgate and lock the car, and so you can just walk away by pressing that button. All right guys, if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments as well about this Land Cruiser. And if you're interested in this Land Cruiser, this one is MSRP'd for $67,034. And this one is currently on sale here at King's Toyota in Mason, Ohio. And huge thanks to them for allowing me to film this video with this Land Cruiser. And with that said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.